here's another stretch that I use for the hip flexor muscle. That is kind of like the laziest stretch you can do that always works. So that's kind of like magic right there. And for that, you will need a towel or a little pillow under your head if you need it, and a yoga block, or if you don't have one, use a foam roller. If you don't have one, use a thicker, bigger pillow and kind of fold it, and you're gonna place it right underneath your sacrum, not too high up your back, you'll see. So I'm just gonna lift my butt, inhale, exhale, put the block underneath. So I don't really need a towel here, but if you have very rounded upper back, you might need one. So that's something to keep in mind, so you're not looking like this. Yeah, that's not relaxing. So right here. And then what you can start with is just straightening one leg and keeping the other leg on the ground. So for me, this doesn't do that much. So what I'm gonna do is flex that foot and push my heel down. That actually activates the back of my thigh. I already feel a little bit of stretch going on. And again, that's the first step, and you can just breathe. You can just breathe deep, let your body relax and breathe into that hip flexor. Yeah, I like using my hands to like glide up and down, like, come on, relax. It's okay to be here now. And then if you want a little bit more, start playing with a leg that doesn't stretch. So you're gonna take it up, bring the knee towards your chest. You can use your arm. I kind of like taking it out to the side and using my other elbow on the ground to kind of like prop it, so I don't even have to really hold it. I kind of let that leg drop into my hand. And then I already feel more stretch going on here. If you need to bend that knee, if you already feel like it's too much, you can bend the knee, but just keep digging your heel into the ground, keep activating the posterior thigh and glute max. You can add a little drumming to this. For most stretches and self-care exercises that I do, honestly, what helps me most is closing my eyes, having some sort of rhythmic tunes depending on my mood and what I'm doing, and fresh air. Fresh air, the sun helps big time, but make sure it's early in the morning or later in the day, not super in the middle of the day when it's too hot. I don't want anybody to get cooked and burned. So that's great. I feel definitely a lot of release happening. And breath, of course. Breath is the key. It's cliche, but it's so true. Then come on down. Give it a shaky, shaky, shaky. Give it a little Elvis dance. Yeah, kind of shimmy, shimmy. And then switch over. So extend your other leg. Yes. Flex and dig the heel into the ground. And then again, if this is enough, because the other side might be tighter, then you can just stay here. Just give yourself some love. I want everyone's hands exploring the muscles, their body, and then you can slowly bring that knee up. I'll just let it kind of drop. Now you'll see possibly that my hips start turning. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just because I'm tight. So my body just kind of like does it on its own, yeah? So again, depending on what you got underneath, is gonna be a little different. And then one more I'll show here. This side of mine is not as tight, so I feel like I could even add some more. So what I'm gonna do is actually take this arm, even though I don't really want to, this feels good. But I'll show you just as an option. Again, we're all here creating our own self-care exercises, so I'll take this arm up and over my head. And I can also bend sideways a little bit. That's gonna stretch this psoas a little bit more. It might even put the stretch in the side of your ribs and possibly even in the lower back or your obliques. So right here. And then I'm not just gonna lay here like sloppily. I'm actually going to imagine that there's two people standing on the either side of me. one pulling my leg away and down, down and away, and the other pulling my arm down and away. You can also rotate your arm in a different way, not just palm facing up, it can be facing in, or if you can go down, that's even more stretch. That's not easy. And then again, I'm just kind of like shimmy, explore, activate, reach, lengthen, and create my own little routine here, my own exercise that works best for me. There's no right or wrong. It's about you feeling your body, being in this moment and breathing deep into those muscles. And then we're gonna slowly come out of this. Yeah, put the foot down, put the other foot down, rebalance. And sometimes I even take both legs out here. And again, it might not be like much after what we've done, but it kind of feels good. Just make sure your pelvis tucks under this way. It's not this way. Yes, you don't want to put tension here. This part of your back most likely is already too tight. And so I will actually bend my knees a little bit to get that tuck, and then dig my heels down into the ground, and then maybe slowly reach those legs again. You could even reach the arms or not, or you can use the hands to drum again and explore all those areas around your pelvis. And I can do this forever, but you take as much time as you need or as you have, right? Ideally at least 5 minutes for this whole sequence, maybe 2-3 minutes on each side, and like a couple of minutes right in the middle, and then remove whatever you got underneath. Like gently lift your hips, breathe in, breathe out, put them down, and then just stay here with your knees bent for a few deep breaths. Don't straighten your legs right away. And then you can just hug your knees into your chest and just give yourself a nice gentle embrace. This way your hip flexors are shortening and you're just stretching your lower back. So just a nice counter stretch, and then maybe even rocking side to side. We came from this pose. We were all like this in our mother's womb, just like that. Deep breath. And then you can release and do any other stretches of your choice. If you just do this 5 minutes a day, I guarantee you, you're gonna feel better.